Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. In this video, my friends, I am going to make a card. It's been a while since I've made a card. I thought I would turn my camera on and share with you what I'm making. I decided that I am going to use digital kits to make this card simply because I have a lot of digital kits and I am always looking for different ways to use them. Most of the digital kits that I have are junk journal related or journal making related, and I feel like they can be used for other purposes other than making a journal. So my goal today is to make a couple of cards, at least two, that are coffee themed, and see how it goes. This is the first time I am attempting to make cards using digital kits. I have a clear picture in my head of what I want them to look like and how I think they will come together. Let me start by first sharing with you what I am using. Okay, friends, we are going to try this again. I thought I was recording. I was not, so I need to re-record this part. Forgive me if some of the sheets I share with you are cut into, but like I said, I thought I was recording. Let me share with you what I am using for these cards. The journal kit I'm using is from the Digital Collage Club. It is called Coffee Lovers, I believe, well, Coffee Lover. It's a beautiful kit with beautiful pages. What I did is I printed 2 pages of the kit per sheet so that it is reduced in size. I did not print all of the pages that are part of the kit, just the ones I thought I can use to create my cards. What I did is, for this particular one, I fussy cut this image right here because I thought that would make an amazing focal point. And here she is. Beautiful. Love that. Absolutely can use that as a focal point. For other ephemera, I downloaded from the Clipart corner. This is what it looked like before I started cutting into it. And the 2 images I cut are these. They should look familiar to you if you watched my Defember videos, because I use these 2 gorgeous ladies in 2 of my layouts. I printed these on double-sided matte photo paper. This is by Canon. It's MP101D. I have an Epson Echo Tank 2850. This paper works beautifully with that printer. You get beautiful, bright images. The machine does not struggle with the paper weight at all. It's heavier than standard printing paper. It's 63 pounds. So I think what I need to do now that I fussy cut my images, I have that. I'm thinking I want to use these prints here as the card itself, the base of the card, which is why I printed 2 per sheet. So all I have to do is cut this in half, trim off the white borders, fold in half, and I should have some nice card bases to start with. Same with this one. Absolutely love this. And I thought this one really worked well with this image. So I think these cards are going to come together really quick. I think if you blink, you'll miss it. Let's start with trimming this paper. The good thing about this being heavier weight paper is that it can be used as a base. If you don't have this paper, or the only paper available to you is copy paper, then what you can do is print onto your copy paper and then take that and glue it onto heavier weight cardstock that you might have in your stash. Okay, so this one's done. Let's do the others. This one is going to be a little smaller than the standard size card, simply because of the way I printed it. My options were to fill the page, print it so that the image filled the page, or to print it so that you can see the entire image. I tried the fill the page option, but what happened with that is this sentiment here was cut off and I didn't like it. So is what it is. Okay, let's do that for this one. This is the one that excites me the most because it is so pretty. I did look through my stash to see if I had any coffee themed stamps. I don't, and that makes sense because I cut so much from my stash, my friends. I've mentioned this in prior videos, but I cut my stash by more than half. The stamps I cut probably by more than 75%. Yeah, I donated the majority of it. I couldn't even be bothered to do destashes. I did keep some stamps, and at some point I will do a destash, but honestly, not a priority right now. The upside of being so harsh and cutting my supplies the way I did is that I now have a craft room which is neater, less cluttered, better organized, and I absolutely enjoy coming into my room more so than I did before. I'll trim this, but I'm thinking I'm going to fussy cut her again so that I can make 2 of the cards using her as a focal point. I think that's what I'm going to do. She's just so pretty. She's just so pretty. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me fussy cut her and then I will be back. I think what I will also do while I'm away is ink the edges of these cards using some ground espresso oxide ink. I am also going to use a black Sharpie to ink the white edges of the images that I fussy cut. I don't like to see those white edges, and the quickest way to get rid of them is a black Sharpie. Let's see, it's not even a Sharpie. It is a brush tip pen that was part of a fine liner set. This is what I use. It has a brush tip. Hopefully you can see that. Can we see that? So what I do is I just take my images and I cover the white edges, and it's a small detail, but it's one I think that makes a big difference. It's nice when you don't see those white edges. Most people, honestly, probably won't even notice that you do that, but they will notice when you don't, right? Isn't it always like that? People don't notice when you put a lot of effort into details, but they do notice when you don't. So I will cover all of these edges in black. I will edge the other papers using my espresso, fitting that it's espresso, right? Considering that this is a coffee themed card. And then I will come back and we will start putting these cards together. Like I said, I think this is going to go relatively quickly. We are back. Everything has been inked and prepped. I love this so much, and what a super easy way to make a card base with a background. All I will need to do for this is fold it in half, and here is the base of my card, and it's finished. It's a beautiful image on both sides, so I'm really excited about that. These cards could not be easier to make. This is coming together quickly. It's coming together well. And I'm really excited because if this turns out, then I can make so many cards, my friends, using the countless digital kits that I have. And you can too. What I'm going to do now is fold some of these card bases. I think I'm going to score them before I fold them. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is just an extra little step that you don't have to do. If you don't have a score board, don't freak out. You can just use a straight edge and a stylus to score your paper, or you can just fold it in half and use a bone folder. So what are your plans for 2025, my friends? Your crafty plans anyway. Mine are pretty simple. It's just to craft more. That's all I want to do. I just want to make more. I want to get back to some things that I have not done in a while. I want to work on things that I've been wanting to try but have been too intimidated to try. But really what it comes down to is I just want to craft. I just want to craft. I want to have fun. I don't want to stress anymore. I'm over this whole perfectionist mentality I've had that one for a while. I'm over it. I'm officially over it, friends. Don't get me wrong. I like things to look pretty and, you know, put together well and cut neatly and things along those lines. But if something is not exactly perfect, it is what it is. I am going to continue being intentional about the stuff I bring into my craft room. I love the state of my room as it is now, and I want to keep it that way. I have no desire to buy more, but I have a strong desire to use what I already have. So my goals are simple. Use what I have, don't bring in any more, craft more, and just have fun. Oh, that's a shame. Well, not really. Can we erase that? Let's see. I always get smudges on everything. Let's see, maybe we can, I have one of those I know I do somewhere. Here it is. If it doesn't come off, no biggie. I can just layer something on top of it. But it looks like it is coming off. Yay. I thought I gave my mat a good cleaning before starting this project, but apparently I must have missed something. And it happens. So let me get my bone folder. Let's fold these cards and see what we have. Wow, the scoring was horrendous. So, moral of that story is better to eyeball it than to use the scoreboard. At least on that card, that was pretty horrendous. No big deal. Fixed it. Fixed it. I did. This one wasn't too bad. It's not great either. Okay, so just like that, friends, look at these beautiful base cards we have. Aren't they gorgeous? And the inside is blank, so you can write your sentiment. Goodness gracious. I have little messy marks everywhere. Why? I am using one of these sand erasers. They are good for removing stray little marks, which is a recurring thing, at least on my table. It's what happens when you do mixed media on the same surface that you do other paper crafts on. Inevitably, some of that transfers over. So okay, so let's put these cards together. I think for these two, I want her. Because this, to me, looks like a cozy reading nook. And she is just having a wonderful, relaxing day at a cafe somewhere, enjoying a delicious cup of coffee. It's a vibe. I want to be with her. I want to hang out with her because this just looks so warm and cozy and chill. So we are going to commit to this card. What I want to do is pop her up ever so slightly, create a little bit of dimension. And for that, I am going to use some of this mounting tape. I haven't used mounting tape in what feels like an eternity. I actually had to go digging to find it because it's been that long since, one, I've made a card, and two, since I've used foam tape or mounting tape. We need some scissors to cut this, and I would rather not use my fussy cutting scissors. Then you'll get glue. And now it's just a simple matter of removing the backing tape, sticking these onto the front of the card. So here's my card base. Here is my image. Let's go ahead and mount the image onto the base of the card. Isn't that perfect? The dimension is perfect. It creates a little bit of shadow. It is such a beautiful, elegant card. Let's go ahead and do another. I'm going to take that same image and mount it onto a different background. I think that works well too. Just so that we have some variations. There we go. Wow. So pretty. Look at that. So these are the two cards, coffee themed, that we made using this lovely lady as a focal point. Let's go ahead and do two more where we use these lovelies as the focal point. So let me again remove the backing tape. Okay, here is the image with the mounting tape. I think what I need to do for this one, just so that it just fits in a little better with the front, it looks more harmonious with the front of the card, is trim off some of the bottom here to create a straight edge. So I just did that, didn't give it much thought, because if I think about it, I'll overthink it. Going to ink that with my ground espresso. Question is, where on the card do I want her? I think center would be good because you can see maybe around there. Let's see. Get my big hands out of the way. I think around there. There seems to be a little void here where you don't see the coffee cups and all of the coffee machines in the background. It's almost screaming for her to be placed there, so that is where we are going to place her. So pretty. Here is the other one. This one has to be my favorite. I mean, she's gorgeous. Look at this. So beautiful. And for her, she definitely wants to hang out on this side of the cafe, I think. Pretty, pretty. And just like that, my friends, we have 4 beautiful coffee themed cards. So let's make something with these. I love this as coffee on the back, so I want to keep that. This image in the front here is cute, but I think these would be better. It's grungier. I love this better. So I think what I'm going to do is just layer this on the top of the card. Then a simple sentiment across here would be perfect. I did trim these cards so that they are slightly smaller than the base of this one, so that you can see a tiny little bit of the base. So I am going to use my favorite glue, my Tombow Mono liquid glue. Let's see if I can do this with shaky hands. Oh boy. I think I could do it. those who may not know, I was recently diagnosed with essential tremors, which means I get uncontrollable shakes. Usually starts in my head with head shakes and works its way down to my hands. So you can imagine it's a little bit of a problem when you're trying to craft, but it is my new normal, so I just have to deal with it. I am learning what the triggers are, and so I'm trying to manage it, but sometimes it just happens, and I'm not going to stop my project. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah? No boo-hooing. It is what it is. Okay. Cute. These are cute. They definitely need a bold sentiment. These 4 look finished, even without a sentiment, which is great because that means I can add the sentiment later, but these 2 just don't look finished without a sentiment. So let me go take a look at what I have, and I will be back. Here are the finished cards, my friends. I did find a sentiment that worked with this coffee themed card. It is part of an older set called Splendid. It is by Mama Elephant. And as you can see, it is a stamp set that I use a lot. Very versatile. So I stamped onto the front of the card using some StazOn ink in the color black. Reads, "Be awesome every single day." That is the front of the card. Here is the back of the card. I love that it has the definition of coffee on the back. And the inside is blank. I think the sentiment helps to keep the card neutral in terms of occasion. It could be a birthday card. It could be a friendship card. It can be just a note card. It's just, I think, neutral. I tried stamping that same sentiment onto the second card and made a mistake. Decided I wasn't going to cry over it, and I certainly wasn't going to throw the card out. So what I did was I stamped the sentiment onto some coffee dyed paper, roughly trimmed the sentiment, and glued it to the front of the page. It is coffee dye paper, so still on theme. Just not exactly what I had envisioned, but still works. And I was able to save the card that way. Then we have these. I am not going to add a sentiment to these. I'm just going to wait until they are ready to be used. Easy enough to add a sentiment. I would just stamp onto a strip of white cardstock because I think the white will pop nicely on this card front, and just add it on. It'll be a quick final step. I love the front. I love that it has a back. And to think that this is paper that was part of a junk journal digital kit. So love that. Inside blank. Here's another. So I'm really excited the way these turned out, and it definitely inspires me to create more cards using my other digital kits. So anytime I can use products or items in a different way other than what they were intended, it makes me happy. These are beautiful. I'm very happy with the way they turned out. So this is my share, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the process. Thank you so much for being with me here today, my friends. I truly do appreciate you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until next time, bye-bye.